Welcome to Unfertile and Unfiltered, a unfiltered podcast about male factor and fertility. My name is Sidney.
My name's Matt.
And this is our story. And this is episode 2. So last time we left off on, we did the at-home test and negative.
Came back positive.
Got all 0.
And I was like, it's fine. We'll do it again. We only waited 2 days. We'll do 3 days this time. We'll really let the...
Between the first at-home test and the second at-home test. That's
we're
what
like,
we're talking about?
I'm like, all right, it's fine. We'll let the sperm mature more because it says you should wait, I don't know, what was it, 2 to 3 days? I'm like, well, we did 2 on the first. We should have done 3.
Mm-hmm.
I was so cocky. So cocky. So we did
Do you think you were in denial at all? Or do you really think that you were just leaning into the cockiness of it all?
Well, before the second one, I think I was a little bit in denial. But I was like, no, well, like, let's give it the highest chances we got, and it'll be fine. So we did the second test.
Nothing.
Same exact results.
0, zilch, nada.
Low sperm, low mobility.
I think it actually gave us some false hope because it said low sperm, low mobility.
You're
and
right.
So in our head, you still had sperm, even though like there was there was nothing in there besides there was dots that were kind of moving, sort of.
Which I honestly just think they were micro vibrations.
Probably. And
at that point, after we got the second test, we decided to open up about it. I think that's when we started talking to people.
No. You were the only one. You told your mom.
I talked to my parents.
Yeah, you talked to your parents. There was an element of me that was thinking, you're being dramatic. You don't actually know if he has a problem. And I really, really, really wanted to surprise my family and come out with a pregnancy announcement that was a surprise. So I didn't tell my parents.
It was tough news for me, and I think I just wanted to
finally talk to somebody.
Share it with my parents.
You did talk to your coworkers about it before that, when we started trying, and at that point,
I did at that point. I told them that I had...
Well, you did, obviously, because you said that Sidney was overreacting by doing tests.
Well, yes, but that's before we even had done the tests. I think it was a little bit of both.
So they knew all the different things.
So I shared with my parents, and bless their heart, very positive, of like, no, it's fine, it's just an at-home test. The at-home test gave us better results.
Which, honestly, here's the thing, is... like, they really... Nobody... You don't know how well an at-home test... I think that's where our minds were at, too. We were thinking...
How accurate
even is this? In our head, though, there's obviously an issue. We just don't know how bad it is. And we don't know how accurate this test actually is being.
So everyone in my family was pretty like, no, like, I told them as soon as I sent in the actual result. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So they were pretty hopeful. And I was like, I didn't really know how to feel. Because I think after the second result, I think I was really set on... I was going for the whole month of July. I had gone to the sauna 5 days a week.
So after you got that negative test you have low motility, low sperm, were you kind of in the place of thinking it's probably just from that July going to the sauna every month?
Yeah, because we had talked, I think even before...
We were talking about...
when we were planning for January,
mm-hmm.
We were also like, oh, hey, I'm going to have to stop going like 3 months before.
Because of the TikTok video.
In September, I was going to have to stop going, and then it switched back to, hey, like, July, so actually stop now.
Just stop right now.
Stop right now. We'll see what the sperm is.
And you really just don't know how much it actually impacts. That's just me watching TikTok and thinking... Okay, if it is the case, then you should definitely stop going, which is a bummer because you actually loved going to him. But did you know before going into the sperm analysis with the clinic, did you have any experience? Did you know that people just didn't have sperm?
No.
What was your familiarity with male infertility?
I knew that there were men out there that couldn't have their own kids, and I thought it was either cancer-based or like they were born without testicles.
0 balls.
0 balls.
No balls.
In no world did I think if a man could ejaculate, I was like, there's got to be sperm in it. Well, totally wrong.
That was just
totally
us being
wrong.
Totally ignorant. Because I don't think we ever even thought that was an issue. I mean, our biggest fear for 2 years was do not accidentally get pregnant. Do everything possible to not get pregnant.
And why would any man think to himself, oh, I can't have kids. Like, never once before this experience was there a question that I couldn't have my own kids.
Well, and I think it's because the fact that you had semen and ejaculate coming out. And so
Yeah.
there's not even, yeah, I mean, I obviously neither of us knew much about fertility, especially on a male side. I was pretty familiar about the female infertility and had my fears around it.
It's way more talked about.
Yeah, men just don't. It's not a big thing that people talk about.
Yeah.
That's why we are disgustingly transparent. Embarrassingly transparent.
It's disgusting, man. It's a little harsh.
You're right. Embarrassing. That's my new motto these days is embarrassingly transparent.
Yeah.
So, got the negative. I told you need to go find a male fertility, or you need to go get a sperm analysis done.
Yep.
So you just
And so she was like, you were trying to make me become a little more A-type.
Well, we got in a little bit of a fight.
We did get in a little bit of a fight.
I'm the driver oftentimes, and you're not as much of the driver. And I think I was just like, and I really don't believe this, but in the moment I was like, this is your problem. This is your sperm. So you go figure out the clinic to find, because I'm hyper research everything.
Hi, I'm the problem. It's me.
I really didn't mean that, but I was just saying I needed you to take some teamwork and some proactive effort than just me doing it.
And now that I'm like thinking back on it, I think I actually was a little depressed after the second result because I was so confident that it wasn't going to be that. I mean, I think I just kind of moped around for a couple days, and then you're like, dude,
get your crap together.
We got to figure this out. Exactly. So I then researched and found they're called the Male Fertility and Peyronie's Clinic.
It's in Orem, Utah.
And I guess they're all over the country.
Did I tell you somebody's flying here to get, they're from Kansas. They're flying here to get theirs done here.
Really?
At the same clinic.
Why?
I think because they're nationwide.
Well, no, I know, but they don't have one in Kansas?
I don't know. It's a small town in Kansas.
Maybe they like the Orem one. I don't know.
I'm telling you, I think it's nationwide. So anyways, okay, so we went to it. You did your analysis on a Thursday, and then takes a couple days.
Yeah, and then get back, and then I got a call Monday around 11 a.m.
Did you have any emotions over the weekend at all? Was there any...
I think I was just avoiding it and not thinking about it. And then actually when I got the call, I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot that I was waiting for this. They told me after I had gone in, they're like, if your results are fine, we're just going to send you a result. If you get a call, something's wrong.
Yeah.
So I knew something was wrong as soon as I got the call.
So what are the questions the lady asked you when she called?
Oh my goodness.
It's kind of funny.
So first she's like, have you ever done any drugs or alcohol? I'm like, no. Never touched it in my life.
Never done alcohol.
Yeah, have you ever smoked tobacco? Nope, never done that. Have you ever done testosterone enhancers? And I'm like, no, I don't even know where I get that. I don't have a street person. I don't know.
I think you can legally get it.
Oh, maybe you can.
Anyways.
And then she's like, have you ever had a vasectomy? I'm like, I'm 27. Why would I have had a vasectomy?
Yeah.
No, I haven't. So she's like, okay. The last thing I can think of is have you ever had any sort of trauma to your testicles? And other than a bump or a tap there,
nothing crazy.
No, nothing. Nothing for it to get swollen or me have to go in and get some sort of surgery. So, because she told me, she's like, you either have a blockage or what's the medical term?
You either have it was either a non-obstructive azoospermia or obstructive azoospermia.
Yeah. And so it's funny because what gave us hope? Something gave us hope to make us think maybe it is obstructive.
I can't remember what it was.
Maybe it wasn't.
I think.
But man, after that call,
did you call me right and immediately after, or did you?
I called you maybe within 10 seconds of that call ending.
I remember you called me and
I wasn't speaking.
No, you spoke, but you were in a weird, high-pitched tone. Kind of when you're teasing.
Yeah.
It sounded like you were teasing. And you, for anybody that doesn't know you, you're the boy that cries wolf. So when you first, you said, I can't remember what you said, but it was I've got no sperm or I've got nothing. And I went into an office, a cubicle, and I was like, are you joking? You're
hearing the snippets of words that I can get out.
Because you were
crying. I am choking on my tears and Like I could not, like I was
Were you in your truck?
I was in my truck. I was driving on the freeway.
Jeez, that's crazy.
And it took me, I don't know, a minute to like, just this like crying and like, like, I don't know, whatever.
I straight up thought that you were teasing me.
Because
of the tone
I
of your...
literally tease her all the time.
But
so
because
it's
of
my
the
own
tone
fault.
of your voice, it sounded like you're you know when you go high pitch? I don't know, like...
Oh no.
I don't know what... Anyways, I thought you were teasing me, and then I realized that you were sobbing, and you said, I have no sperm.
Then I started saying a couple inappropriate words because I was pissed and sad at the same time of like,
I don't think I heard that.
this is some bull crap
Oh,
and
yeah. I think that's when I
screw
knew
my life.
I think that's when I knew you were telling the truth.
Yeah. You were very calm. I think, because then you had to start processing the fact that they didn't find sperm.
I think, here's the thing though, I think you were in denial up to that point. And I think I already was processing and feeling the thought process of, no, this
Something's
could be
wrong.
bad. I don't know what bad is, but this could be bad.
Yeah.
So, did you end up going home early that day or no?
I think I did a couple more things at work and then I went home early.
And I finished...
You got home before me because you greeted me.
I finished the workday because I always get home late or earlier than you. Finished the workday, and so we got off the phone call and I finished the workday, and I was kind of just processing. I thought that I felt fine, and then I got in my car and thought to myself, well, at this point I need to tell my mom. So I called up my mom, and absolutely worst case scenario, I was like, Mom, I have a live update. And she's like, are you pregnant?
I forgot about that.
And I just started sobbing. Oh my gosh, I was sobbing. Because it was that moment of realizing, oh my gosh, I'm not.
I'm not. I'm the opposite of, that's not happening for a very, very long time.
I am the opposite of it, yeah. So then I just spent the entire drive home sobbing on the phone with her. And I was kind of laughing, thinking about people next to me, because I'm sure some people saw me hysterically crying, thinking, what the frick is going on in this chick's life?
Which, were you at work?
I had gotten my car to drive home.
Oh.
So I was driving home when I talked to her on the phone, driving home. Yeah. So then we got home, did a ton of ChatGPTing. I think we did that afternoon.
Yeah.
And that's when we
really started to learn about like the non-obstructive, the Azoospermia
versus obstructive.
And then all the different chances and hypotheticals with the Azoospermia. Because if non-obstructive is obviously like they just go in and surgically fix whatever the blockage is. The other one, there's like good, better, best, good, worst results. Like there was different levels to like the chances of
what... Oh yeah, because if it's not obstructive, you do microtesting, all the different things. Yeah. I remember that night. What did we do?
I don't know.
It's been like a whirlwind. I had a therapy appointment, canceled that. She obviously knew it was tracking, so I told her the bad news, and then I canceled it. And then we went to Blaze Pizza. We were just like,
we got our own
cheers.
pizzas and
give us some pizza
and a garlic pesto cheesy bread.
Yeah. And then what did she tell you next steps? What did we do?
So she said, hey, sometimes the sperm results aren't accurate, so we want to take another one and we want you to get a blood test.
Mm-hmm.
So we got the blood test scheduled, like, I don't know, the following day.
Tuesday, yeah, I got
And then the sperm analysis.
Yeah, it's minute details, but Tuesday was blood work. Wednesday you did sperm analysis. Thursday they said, hey, maybe you could come in. And then they canceled and said, just kidding, the nurse isn't here. So then we went in Friday. I remember that because I spent the whole weekend sobbing. That's how I knew that. Went in. I think that the receptionist and the nurse felt very uncomfortable by
I
was
making a bunch of jokes.
You're making way too many jokes. Well, it was fine. It actually worked out. So, actually, up to this point, by this point, you and I had done... This is when you were doing hyper ChatGPTing. I think you've leveled off now.
Deep in the chat.
We were doing some pretty serious, intense ChatGPTing. And I think what it was, so that it was 60% chance that it would be non-obstructive.
Yep.
40% that it's obstructive.
And those were ChatGPT facts.
Yeah, so don't...
We went in and they're like, oh, it's not 40%.
I don't know. I don't actually...
For obstructive, it's way less.
I don't know actually what it is, but that's what we went in thinking, okay, worst case scenario, there's a higher chance that it's going to be worst case scenario. And So we had done actually a decent amount of research that we knew kind of what the routes would be, and okay, you'd have to do IVF or just different things. Obviously, we were continuing to learn more. And then we got in there.
Well, and yeah, I think we knew at this point that it was probably going to look like IVF.
I actually don't. I was pretty confident it wasn't going to be, actually.
Really?
I was mourning the fact that it's going to be obstructive, he's going to have to go to surgery, and then it's going to put our timeline back by 3 months.
Oh, how inconsiderate of you. Oh my gosh.
So cute.
Sorry that I would do that to you.
Plus now 6. No, anyways. So we get in there, and the nurse was beating around the bush.
Oh, she was so...
Like, if this is a bush, she's just all around it.
Well, if here's the bush with like, hey, you're not going to have kids... This is where she was.
Just
and she would get close to it, and then we'd be like, okay, wait, so we think it's bad. And then she'd run away from it.
I can't even remember what she said. Like, what did she say? Oh, she first asked if we were open to IVF.
That's the very...
Yeah, we're open, like, if we have to do IVF, we're open to it. And she was like, okay. Oh. At that point, though, she was saying, I can't even remember what the results are, but she was beating around the bush, and she said,
right,
FSH and your LH are high. We'll probably have to do a testy or a micro-testy to find things. And we were like, so it's not obstructive? She's like, yeah, it's not. And I said, so there's only, our best case scenario is IVF. She's like, yeah. So we had to like pull it out of her. Totally pull it out of her. And then that's when she said, well, it could be cystic fibrosis. So then she made you get on the table and she examined your vas deferens.
Yep, they were there. And then a lot of stuff, I don't remember all the details, but she in a roundabout way told us like, hey, it doesn't look good. There might not even be sperm in the micro-testy.
I don't think she was that clear about it, honestly.
Yeah, but she got to the point where she's like, you guys are taking this very well.
And I think it's because, one, we're going to cry in front of them.
And two, we'd
already known. It was the worst part about it is that she didn't say, based off his results, we think it's non-obstructive azoospermia. He will have to do a testy, and if they don't find anything, then a micro-testy.
Yeah.
That's what I would have loved to hear from that lady.
Yeah.
Anyways, we were just making jokes left and right. I don't even know what we were making jokes about.
I was like, yeah, ha ha, no more condoms for life. Oh, yeah. She's like, that is true.
That is so true. And then I can't remember. We ended up diving into a 20-minute discussion with her because I guess she had a hard time getting pregnant, and so I was telling her all the tests she should take.
But she was like, I don't want to know.
Yeah, she's the type B in their relationship. Not that everybody is one or the other, but if you were to give her a label.
Anyways. And so at that point, they're like, hey, get your micro-testy scheduled.
Yeah, they said that's the next step. Based on your results, your next step would be getting a micro-testy.
And we had researched that they were like, what, $8,000? Before we'd gone in, they're like 8,000 to 10,000. And I'm like, hey, how much are they? So she went out and she asked, and they were 39?
It was 4,000 for if you went under and 27 if you, or 39 if you went under, 27 if you didn't go under.
So we're like, oh, wow, that's...
It was, yeah.
We thought we had just saved $4,000.
Butt ton of money, but here we are. Then we scheduled. Now, you were nervous to go under.
We got in a little fight at the receptionist's desk because I'm like, I'm going under. I am not going to be awake while they slice my balls open. I was terrified.
And my thought process.
And she's like, no, we need that $1,000. I'm like, I don't care. That $1,000 is worth it to me.
And then we're driving home in the car.
So we scheduled,
you going under.
Me going under.
Get in the car. We're driving home. I think I called my mom at that point and tell her worst case scenario. And she talked about how you didn't want to go under. And she's like, Matt, women have babies fully conscious. I think you're being kind of a wimp, which was, love that for her. Very valid.
Did I internalize that at all? No.
Yeah,
really.
Yeah, no. So then we ended up swapping it, and I mean, obviously, we'll go into that surgery, but in the end, we're so glad that you didn't go under.
Yes,
it wasn't bad. We can go into a different episode, but
and there was a big factor of like, okay, nothing from this point on to having kids is cheap. That $1,000 may not be that much, but at least it saves us $1,000 for another expense towards IVF or whatever route we take,
Which,
so.
yeah, no, definitely. And then that day, we were so dumb. We hung out with our friends, and I just don't think I was actually ready for that.
Which friends?
So we go home on Friday. We went home on Friday. It was that Friday. We go home. I tell you, I had already been sharing a lot of my life on social media. A lot of it was surrounded around surrender that kind of kicked up when I realized that we weren't going to have kid disease. Or it wasn't, I honestly never thought we were going to be infertile, but I was just realizing, oh, my life and my plan isn't going to go the way that I plan it out to be. So I had this really strong impression to start posting on Instagram and start posting just about my life. And so I got to that point realizing I won't be able to be as candid as I want to be if I don't openly share this with people.
Yeah.
There was that element. There was the element of I don't want to tell people a million times and have this, have to tell my inner circles a million times that we're infertile. And then I think there was also the element of I'm hyper independent. And I just know that going through this, I need to do something that's not hyper independent.
Yeah.
I need to be open enough so that people know the struggle. So we recorded something that day, and then we didn't do the announcement I didn't post on Instagram until the next day. But we hung out with, I'll move this out. We hung out with.
Oh, that's right.
We got Indian.
Yeah.
Or something. How did you feel that weekend? You just found out. We just announced it to everybody.
Like the terrible person I am sometimes, I think that weekend I kind of just drowned myself out with some Call of Duty.
I think you did a lot.
I think I played a lot of Call of Duty.
And videos and
YouTube and Netflix. I think we were I mean, it's funny because we saw your family like the day after, and like none of them knew how to really.
You know what was interesting is that I don't think so. And so your mom and my mom both did this, and I didn't realize it was something that was hard until afterwards. But so when we called them up and told them the diagnosis, the Friday, them saying it's not obstructive. When I called them up, both of them were very much so, okay, well, expect miracles. Like, this isn't worst case scenario. It's all going to be fine. It's going to be great. And I don't think I responded really well to that. And I didn't know in the moment why until I realized later. So it wasn't their fault because they were just trying to be positive.
I was sick of the positivity too, because we had gone from. We just kept going further down the worst case scenario.
We just kept getting worst case scenario. And every time, I don't know why, but every time I was blindsided. And every time I was thinking to myself,
and every step it was, we expect miracles. We expect miracles from worst case to worst case to worst case to worst case. And it was like, I'm sick of miracles because they're not happening. They're not happening.
And I think that what I ended up, the conclusion that I came down to and why I needed, and now I know, and I think if there ever is hard things, I can communicate to anybody in my close circles, hey, this is what I need from you right now. Because I ended up having a better conversation with my mom saying, no, I need this from you. I don't need you to be in fixer mode because you can't fix this. Is that weekend, my biggest morning was that miracles don't always come in the way that you want them to come. And it doesn't mean that's not a miracle, right? So God is going to show up in our story in so many different ways. And it's not going to be in you having biological children. And so that weekend, my family, your family, were trying to be positive of like, no, there's still going to be a miracle. You can still have your own biological children. And my weekend was mourning the fact that just because it's a miracle doesn't mean it's a miracle that you wanted.
I also sometimes think back on that and wonder if it's a little bit of them being in denial.
I think it could be.
It probably has a lot to do with them having faith in there being a miracle, but also them being like, I don't want, like, for my mom and my dad to be like,
well, it's so
of like, I don't want to accept my son not being able to have his own kids. I think that there's part of like faith and denial.
And then probably a little bit of like lack of education, because I think you can have more positivity. Like even us going into all of these different things had kind of skew understandings of everything. And so every time I was feeling like I was being dramatic for being sad.
Yeah.
Being worried, because I'm like, you're just being dramatic. You're just having anxiety. And then it kept being that worst case scenario. So I don't know. Yeah, there's just a lot to it. So rough weekend. I don't lounge. I don't take naps. I don't lounge. I did some religious studying in the morning and did some religious reflection. And then I think for the rest of the day, I kind of just, I posted the video of us saying big announcement. We're infertile.
We're infertile. We were both in the car.
I posted that and then ran like 2 miles around the track at Orm Rec. And just kept getting messages as I would post that. And I was blasting this playlist, my surrender playlist that I listened to, and was just on the verge of tears while I was running.
And it was so funny because so many people were commenting, we dealt with the same thing. And it's like they have several of their own kids.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't get that.
Which at that point you didn't know.
I mean, we didn't know. The funny thing is I had a feeling that they weren't going to find anything, but we were going to do the surgery anyways. And I think the surgery is what we're talking about in the next episode. So,
yeah. So we finished off that weekend and had the surgery in
December 2nd? Yeah.
2 weeks
no, it was literally 11 days.
It was a week and a half.
They're like, well, the nurse told us, hey, it's about 3 months out. And then they're like, we have an opening in 11 days. And it's like, well, let's get her done.
Take it and run.
And so we did.
And we're going to talk about that in the next episode.
So we'll see you there.